well. So, all right, we about to get live. Welcome. If you have just joined us, we are live and in effect, and you could be anywhere in the world, but you decide to tune in to this program. All right. Yes. If you didn't hear about the conversation we just had, you guys missed an amazing event. We had our first, I guess, bowling night. I believe it's our third event, in-person meetup, and it was a blast. I believe that the boys beat the girls during that event.
No, please correct yourself immediately. Thank you, but you can keep on going. Thank you.
The ladies definitely
except for that first game when where there was no order. I was the top scorer in that one. I know my 131.
We need you to bowl the whole time, you and Olio. So, but we definitely had a blast. So we look forward to our next event that's coming in December. It's a Friendsgiving / Christmas party. So if you see the photos and you want to be a part of it, make sure you tune in and wait for the flyer that's going to be coming out. But I'm so excited once again to be here. And I'm going to move right into the role to introducing myself. Again, it is I, changing roles as president. So it's good to be back. Want to say thank you for all the guests that came and joined us this evening. And we're excited to have you. Definitely a pleasure to see everyone. I want to pass the baton to our individual that will be helping us carry the meeting, our Toastmaster of the evening. And that will be actually Miss Roberta. She'll be introducing the individuals that will be working with us to make sure the meeting flows amazingly today. Miss Roberta, can you come to the mic?
Good evening, everyone. I am Roberta Lowe. I'm your Toastmaster for this evening. And I want to, I'm sorry, I've been trying to pull up the agenda, but if our grammarian and our odd counter can step forward, and our timer, and introduce yourselves, please.
Okay, so I am Trivia. I am the odd counter and grammarian. I'm sorry. And tonight I will be looking for the like I just said, the O's, the repeated words, and just hearing the grammatical errors. And our word for the day is, let me pull it up again. I'm sorry. And if someone can put it in the chat box for me.
Truncate.
Say that again, Tyrone, I'm sorry.
Truncate, Leo.
That was Olio, truncate.
Okay, thank you. And I have it, I'm sorry. So that, oops, my computer is acting crazy.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, truncate. And truncate means to shorten by or as if by cutting off. And an example of that statement is many statements in the court documents were truncated before publication. And I will be your counter and grammarian.
You can see introduction, but not really.
Good evening, everyone. Great evening. I am Olio Samuels. I will be your timer for today. For the speeches that are 5 to 7 minutes, at the 5-minute mark, you'll see my screen turn green. At the 6-minute mark, and once you hit green, that means you have done enough for your speech. All right, you pass, you qualify. Then at the 6-minute mark, you will see a yellow screen. This means you're winding down to the outer limit, right? Then at the 7-minute mark, you will see a red screen. This means that you only have 30 more seconds to complete your thought, to complete your speech. And after that, that means you went over time. So if that means if you're in a competition, you will be disqualified. And this is the reason that we have a timer to help you stay addressed, to make sure your message concise and to the point. Now for the table topics, I'll be giving a time also that are 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1-minute mark for table topics, you'll see a green screen. This means, again, you've done enough to qualify to pass. You won. Then you'll see at 1 minute and 30 seconds, you'll see a yellow screen. This is meaning you're almost going to be to the limit of your time. At 2 minutes, you will see a red screen. And this will mean that, oh, okay, we have 4 to 6 minutes. All right, not no 5 to 7 minutes speeches. So at the 2 minutes, you'll see a red screen, which means, again, you only got about 30 seconds to wrap up. And then after the 30 seconds, time will be forfeited. All right, so we have 4 to 6 minute speeches today. So instead of 5 to 7, it's 4 to 6. So at the 4 minute mark, that's when you'll see a green screen. That means you've spoken enough. At the 5 minute mark, that's when you'll see the yellow screen. And at the, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And at the 5 minute mark, I'm sorry. And at the, I'm reading this thing out here while I'm talking. All right. And then at the 6 minute mark, that's when you will see the red screen, and that will indicate that you only have 30 more seconds to wrap up. That is your timer's corner. I am switching it back over to Ms. Roberta Love.
Thank you so much. I'm still having trouble locating where my agenda is. Mr. President, can you please help me out?
Oh, I got you, Roberta. So Roberta, you are going to actually introduce our first
speaker. Is that true?
Our first, yes, ma'am. And it's actually Tyrone, his icebreaker.
All right. Let's see. Our first speech is that. I have something here.
And that might be from me. That's from me, Roberta.
Yeah. All right. So we have Mr. Tyrone he's doing the icebreakers today.
In Pathways, yes.
In Pathways. All right.
The first one.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Mr. Tyree. All right. Mr. Tyree was asked to speak to the group.
Roberta,
Yeah.
hold on.
I think, where are we at? I think I have the wrong one.
Robert, why don't you let her introduce you and you speak, and then Tyrone can send her.
Gotcha, that's cool. That's perfect.
Next.
You can introduce me, my friend.
All right. Yeah, I think I have the wrong one. All right, so our first speaker would be Robert Tyree. He is presenting today, and the title of his speech will be Becoming a Teacher. The purpose of this project is for the members to participate, being aware of his thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact of his responses on others. Mr. Tyree was asked to speak to the group of new teachers in the building about his first years of teaching as an elementary school teacher. Mr. Tyree is walking to the front of the room, and all eyes are on him. There are 15 new teachers and sitting around the school library, and the room is completely quiet. Mr. Tyree was asked to speak to the group of the new teachers in the building about his first years of teaching okay, that's repeating itself. Right over to you, Mr. Tyree.
All right. A wise man once told me that the best teacher in life is your own experience. I believe the person that had this quote must have been an elementary school teacher. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. My name is Robert Tyree, and I'm an elementary school teacher in Baltimore City. I had the honor of teaching third grade English and also phonics. Over the past 2 years, the road has been very challenging. Coming from a job where I was a seasoned manager at one of the world's fastest growing pretzel businesses, then shifting into a new position, which for me in my eyes was very brand new. Through teaching, I have learned so much about my life purpose, but more importantly, I've learned so much about myself. I want to give you a couple of takeaways from my project, from my journal during this past week. Dear Robert, I want you to remember these things, these 5 characteristics for being a good teacher. Number 1, make sure you listen and communicate. Communication is a one-way street, but it has multiple turns. Conversation are normally one-sided, and in order to have a true conversation, you must be willing to listen first and then talk last. I know that in my profession, a lot of times when we're speaking to students, we have the ability to normally not listen to the comments that they're saying, but they're always speaking. They're always trying to tell us how they feel. And it's very important that when you're speaking to a younger age group that you have empathy and you just make sure that you're paying attention to what they're trying to say. So for me, I kind of took that personally because I often have times when I'm in a conversation and I'm always talking and I'm never listening. So today I wanted to, during the course of the week, I wanted to reflect back on the multiple conversations I had during the course of the week. And I wanted to make sure that I personally, as I'm growing as a professional, make sure that I am first listening and then second talking. The next characteristic that was important to remind myself was to be friendly and calm. Be friendly and calm. Have you ever been upset at a person or a situation and wanted to scream at the top of your lungs? I know I have. Or maybe you're at work and things are not going as planned, or your supervisor walks into the room. As a teacher, this happens often where the kids are out of control. They are not following directions. And just when I think I have things under control, my supervisor comes in and I forget everything that I was doing. Sometimes my attitude becomes very negative. But the one thing I wanted to remember during this course of this week, as I'm jotting down my journal, to remain friendly and stay calm. To remain friendly and stay calm. To make sure that when I'm speaking, that I am level-headed, because individuals don't listen when you're yelling. And just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you have to take it out on the kids. So when I was reflecting during the course of the week, I wanted to make sure that every conversation I'm having, not just outside the classroom, not just inside the classroom, but even outside the classroom, that I continue to be level-headed, stay calm, and have a friendly attitude. The next characteristic for a good teacher is time management. Time management is key to having a balanced life. When I first joined this profession, I thought that a teacher's job was just from 8 to 2. I thought every single day I was going to get out at 2 o'clock and I'll be able to relax in the evening time. But that is not true. A teacher's job it only starts at 2 o'clock. There's a lot of lesson planning going on, a lot of meetings, a lot of breaking down students' data. But time management is super important in a teacher's life, because if you don't have time management, time will manage you. I have to remind myself constantly to make sure that I am staying true to my schedule, making sure that I have some me time in between the times that I'm teaching and coaching, making sure that I'm doing things according to my schedules, and just making sure that I'm managing my time very well. The next characteristic that was super important was self-improvement. It adds value in addition to oneself. So in the teacher world, we had these scheduled days off called professional development. When I was younger, I never understood what PD meant. Just thought that teachers had days off. These are opportunities for teachers to actually go to workshops and classes to develop themselves as skilled professionals and educators. During my course of the last 2 years, I found myself wanting to improve on every aspect of my life. So instead of just going to PDs on my days off, I now attend PDs as often as I can. If it's virtual workshops, if it's network gatherings, or if it's opportunity just to brand, these are a perfect opportunity to build yourself as an individual. So it's super important for me and myself to make sure that I'm always trying to improve. Improvement is something that happens daily, not just once a day. The last characteristic that I feel like we must have as a good teacher is to make sure that you're well prepared. There's a quote that's very famous. It says, proper preparation prevents poor performance. I want to add an S to that. Proper preparation prevents poor performances. To become a successful teacher, you must plan in advance. You must occupy each idle time of the students just to make sure that they don't have any misbehaviors in between. For myself, I must be prepared as well to make sure that even during my free time, that every single thing that I do is planned in advance to make sure that I am excelling in each area of my life. They say life is the best teacher. I totally agree with that statement. But I believe also becoming a teacher can bring out the best in you. The last characteristic that I want to leave you guys with this impression today is stay committed to the purpose. Being a teacher is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. I know a number of teachers who are non-traditional teachers and traditional teachers that decide to go in a different direction. But I'm here to stay. I'm dedicated to my craft. The one thing that reminds me of staying on track is my why. Why did I become a teacher? Because I care, because I love the students, because I want to make sure that I'm there during their troubled times, that I'm there to encourage them and make sure that they push forward with positive thinking. So life is one of the best teachers, but if you want to really learn about life, become an elementary school teacher. That's my time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert Tyree. Thank you for that. Our next speaker is Mr. Tyrone Thorpe. He is finally giving us an icebreaker this evening. And while this is not his first icebreaker in Pathways, this is because he has done an icebreaker in MSU before. At the behest of both Robert Tyree, Natasha Brown, as well as Eva Colbert, this long overdue action is now being taken. The title of his speech is I Am Who I Am. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Tyrone Thorpe. Mr. Tyrone.
Good evening. I could say that I am a great track runner or have been one, yet you wouldn't know me at all. I could say that I am the tallest in my own head because I've made many mistakes and have many successes, and yet you would not know me at all. I could tell you that I am the first in my immediate family to get to post-secondary education and to graduate education. And yet again, you wouldn't know me at all. And while these elements are noteworthy, they only show one element of me. And I hope to give you a little bit more of me. Not the whole book, not the whole recipe, but a little bit of appetizers and insights into who I am. It's fairly meaty, so do bear with me if you get full too quickly. I am a son of Baltimore, East Baltimore, and Northeast Baltimore, but you may as well say, as they say in the vernacular, I am East Side certified. I've been here most of my life. Yes, I have some love for Northwest, but Northeast and Deep East is where I come from. I am the product of two postal parents who are truly postal. Take that what you will. They work for the post office and they come and they give it up. And they have no problem letting you know what is what and what is not. And I can definitely tell you, if you have any wisdom as I do, you see what to be, what not to be, and what not to own from parents. I also have two younger brothers who are towering over me. I am the shortest, I am the darkest, and I am the oldest. But I can deal with that. I don't have the infirmity that comes with being tall, like bumping your head over a door frame or having to get into the land of shame for shoes. But hey, live it as it is. In my growing and living in Baltimore, starting with Northwest, that's where I got a little taste of learning and loving, or to be more precise, loving of learning. I went to a place called Chambers Development Center, which is a Montessori school. And that's where I got to first encounter play in my head while learning at the same time. It wasn't so structured to where I was in boot camp. I got to play, I got to learn, and I got to enjoy. You could say it was reading Rainbow with more of a disco feel to it, but you learned from it, and there was no recklessness in it. But as I got older and progressed further in learning, I got not an education, but a moniker began to grow. I was learning and I was quick to respond in getting answers right, and I would eventually be known as the smart one, which is not a bad thing. But after a while, and I realized this as I got older and still do now, you become the go-to for a lot of people, and you become the host for a bunch of parasites who are lazy. Yes, those of you who are teachers probably see it as it comes, but of course you let people learn as they learn, and they make their mistakes and learn the lesson accordingly. But I got to the point where I almost hated being called the smart one or even being smart because it was a burden. It's nice to know a lot of things, but after a while, you become a target. And then you become the anchor. If you know track, the anchor picks up the slack and has to do a lot of work. Then I realized I can't do that. I will continue to learn and I will love learning, but I will not be the anchor, not at all. But in my living and learning, I had some setbacks. Setbacks definitely are a wonderful thing, even though they sting in the beginning. Middle school, not so much of a good thing. I went to private school most of the time. Not that I wanted to be there, but hey, what choice do you have when you got parents who say, oh, you're going to learn some way or somehow. And the first 2 years of elementary school, or rather, not elementary school, 4th and 5th grade were great. 6th grade, middle school, oh geez, that was nice boot camp. It wasn't cakewalk. And 7th grade, I can say this. I learned a lot, but then there's something that I found that debilitates me. If you give me work that's so easy that it's brain dead easy, and I get it in mass, it's debilitating and I just won't do it. And that's what caused me failure, because I was not going to do work that didn't challenge, because I was not being challenged. And then in retrospect, I thought, wow, I really could have did more and did X, Y, and Z and succeeded, but I didn't dwell on that. I moved on and moved forward. Fast forward to high school, breezed through, same issues, but I was in track and I was an anchor. I was running track, distance, loving it, even though the school I went to was beleaguered. Oh well, I got a lot more out of that beleaguered place than I probably would have gotten in a place that is highly structured and highfalutin. But let me go further and to say, from college and living to this point, I consider myself a lifelong learner and somewhat of an enigma. One part riddle, enigma, and one part an obvious presence. My personality type is what they call INTP. I'm a thinker, perceiver, intuitive, and introverted. Shocking, isn't it? A person in Toastmasters who likes to talk being an introvert. But yes, I am. Because even though I can talk your ear off about something I like, my battery runs down low and it runs down quickly and I have to recharge to do it over again. So don't be shocked if I'm quiet. That is who I am, just a bit of it. And that came from Popeye. Although I will say this, I am who I am, but that's not all I am. Hope you got insight or some insight into who I am and aim to be further. Thank you for indulging me. Good evening, all.
Hey, Tyrone.
Thank you so much, Tyrone. That was a wonderful icebreaker. Now we are going to move into our table topics. And tonight our table topic master is Crystal. Crystal?
Good evening, Toastmasters, friends, and everyone in between. I definitely want to shout out our speakers this evening, our president and Mr. Tyrone. They were great speeches. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the delay. Tonight, as your table topics master, wanted to do something a little different. What I would like to do is get at least 3 folks. And here is the topic. So tonight, I ran into a little work issue. It was a crisis, actually. Almost cried about it before I jumped on with you all this evening. The crisis was I mistakenly texted someone and I thought I was talking to one person, but I was actually talking to someone else. Yikes. I'm sure that may have happened to one of you in your experience. Hopefully it has not happened in a work experience, but it happened to me tonight. So for our table topics, you will give me advice as far as what to say to this person that I mistakenly texted. So would anyone, I'm laughing, but I really want to cry. Do I have at least 3 volunteers that would like to help your fellow Toastmaster out? Anyone, please, someone.
Wow.
Thank you, Natasha. Anyone else? 2 more people. And once you guys volunteer, I will kind of go more into detail of what I would need for you to respond to. Okay, Robert. All right.
If no one says anything, I definitely would.
Anyone else, just take a stab. I mean, look, as Toastmasters, we are professionals in our own industries. Some of us are teachers, some of us work in different offices. For me in particular, thanks, Ryan. I work in the state legislature. So, you know, you have to be a chameleon, you have to be flexible. And so the great thing about Toastmasters is being able to use this as a resource to help each other professionally, not only with just our speaking, but you know, in dealing with difficult situations that we do deal with on the job. So now that we have our 3 volunteers, and this is such a vulnerable and transparent moment, but who else can I go to but my Toastmasters family with this? Okay, so here is the situation. So I thought that I was texting a coworker. I was kind of, in a sense, bad mouthing someone and their performance. And when I realized my faux pas, I was like, oops, okay, I messed up. So I needed to apologize. My volunteers, starting with Natasha, then Robert, then Ryan, what would be your advice in cleaning up this situation by also maintaining a good working relationship? Natasha, you volunteer first. I know I really wanted to cry. I still want to cry. I might cry after.
Well, let me get this. We sent the text.
I did.
We realized that it wasn't the person.
Right.
So we
They
haven't.
had both. They had
yet.
the same initials. They had the same initials. And I was actually texting like 3 or 4 people at the same time. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And we haven't said anything yet.
I have apologized, but I feel like maybe what I said wasn't sufficient enough. So I just want to see. I just want to see if what I did was the right thing to do. And I see in our chat, our timer, also treasurer, who has asked if we would like to give one of our guests or someone who hasn't been here in a while, if they would like to participate as well. No pressure. I mean, really, the pressure is really on me. So.
Yeah, is there a guest that wants to hop in here? So, okay. Greetings, Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests.
Is it mic off?
I'm sorry. I just need a moment.
I think she's pondering her response.
I am.
Yo, it's bad. Like, I know this is bad. That's why I'm coming to my Toastmasters family.
I understand. Okay. So I wanted to come to you face to face because I felt like my text message apology did not express how truly sorry I really am. In order for me to move past this, I have to not only acknowledge my apology, but also acknowledge how it may have affected you. I also want to let you know that this has been a wonderful opportunity for growth for me. I now know that if I have a concern with the efficiency of someone's job, that I should bring it to them and be more of a mentor instead of talking about your performance with another person. So what I want to do is to offer my assistance in assisting you with your performance. Yes, and I hope that you will receive that as not only an apology, but you seeing that I am moving differently after this encounter. Please accept my apology.
Wow. Thank you, Miss Natasha. That is definitely helpful in acknowledging where I went wrong, acknowledging my fault, and accepting that, hey, there are, some things that I need to do in the future. So thank you. All righty. So I believe we have up next Mr. Tyree, our president. Come give me some inspiration here. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, distinguished guests. It wasn't me. I was going there, Crystal. My little niece was playing around on the phone and I was talking. I didn't use your name, but your name popped up. And what happened was she sent it. So
I'm gonna have to pause.
Okay, I know. I was gonna stop anyway. Yep, I was gonna stop anyway. Yeah,
I am a text gangster. Okay, so I will, send a
I know.
barrage of texts, like 100 texts in like 10 seconds. So yeah, we can't use
I
that.
knew it was gonna fly, but here we go. Yeah, I would do the same thing kind of similar to Natasha. I think that you could text someone, you can email, but I think that when you made a mistake like that, you gotta go face to face. Listen, the stuff I said, I meant it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm very upset. I'm very displeased with the company. But I come to work every single day, put my best foot forward. And I do apologize sincerely that I should have came to you directly. I don't want to make our interaction uncomfortable because I feel like we can get past this. So I'm coming to you again. And whatever I'm gonna say, whatever it takes to gain your trust back. I do honor your work. I do respect you as a person. But I know now I can come to you or send an email or have a team meeting and discuss some of the things that I'm dissatisfied with. And I think that once again, this opportunity has taught me some things. I could have went about it a better way. And next time I will. If I have something that I'm disappointed in or I didn't like the way you guys ran things accordingly, I will address it in a professional manner. But hopefully we can get through this. And I look forward to still interacting and meeting with you. How was that, Crystal? A little bit.
Thank you, guys. You are really helping me. Yes, and Elise raised her hand as well. So thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate it. After all of this, guys, I will share with you what I actually responded. But these are great. I wish I waited before I answered. But thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So we are going to go to Ryan. I know that you're going to have something really special to share with me on what to do in handling this situation.
Can I ask a question before I go? Was this a superior?
No.
Okay. All right. So what I would say is give it a night. I would say go to sleep on it because what you saw was the truth. What you evaluated was not a lie. Now there may have been a better delivery and how you could have communicated it, sure. But I'd say that what if it was intentional that you saw what you saw? And maybe you did not have the confidence to confront this person face to face. So it had to happen the way that it happened because who else could have had the confidence to say something, just not to that person? And what if this was a way to work on both you and that individual simultaneously? And now that this is out, you now have to do something that you may not have been comfortable doing prior to. And I will say the reason why you should give it a night is because no one can think while they're worrying. It's difficult to be creative in that space. But if you were to feel comfortable with what was said, maybe not the way it was communicated, you could probably come up with your own creative way to deliver that message properly without worry.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Sometimes in responding to things quickly in haste, we become anxious. We feel like, oh my goodness, like I have to fix this right away. But in giving time for things, as the saying goes, time can heal a lot of wounds. Time can heal a lot of things because you're given space. You're able to think about the moves that you made, the things that you said. You can be more thoughtful and more sincere about your response. So I appreciate
And
that.
listen, I'll say this too, it happened to me. but it happened to me with a superior.
Oh, okay.
And I actually texted a coworker who was underneath this superior. We were both underneath her, and I ended up texting her by mistake, and she
Mm.
saw everything I saw. But I worried for 2 days, and when she finally seen it, she was able to. I'm gonna say God breathed on her
Mm.
because by the time I got to her, she understood why I had done what I had done.
Well, thank you for that. So to your earlier question, this wasn't a superior. It was someone who um, was kind of on my same level, but we're in different, I'll say different agencies. But I was talking about their agency as a whole. But I thought I was sharing my opinion on some things with one of my direct coworkers, but ended up sharing it with this particular agency. So it's still important for me to still have a good working relationship with this person, even though like my job or anything wouldn't be in jeopardy, but to be able to do anything further down the line, it's just always good to not burn bridges and to, maintain good working relationships. So I will take some time and reach out to the person tomorrow. So thanks, Ryan. Okay, so we have Elise who raised her hand and wanted to participate. Elise, are you still here? Did you leave?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with God. I'm still here. All right. So I just basically just run with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can give me your give me your thoughts, advice as far as, what I should say, how I could smooth things over. Yeah, just give me your thoughts.
Okay. So sincerely, as embarrassed as I am, I need to express to you that I do struggle with communicating difficult topics with people directly. As challenging as it is, I should have definitely taken time to sit down and figure out what was the right approach to maybe come to you about it, or maybe if it was something I should have left alone. But clearly it was something that was bothersome, and I am very, very apologetic because I clearly have possibly offended you, and I sincerely would like to make sure that I do best to repair that relationship if it has been broken. It's not my intention to cause any ill feelings whatsoever. I respect you as a person. However, this is my sincere feelings. And I feel like genuinely I could have come to you about it in a different way. I am sorry if I did offend you, which I will assume that I have. And I would love if you would like to discuss it, maybe over lunch, my treat. I believe food is a healing thing to all bodies and minds. And if you would like to talk about things, I hope that even if you don't accept my apology today, in time you will, and you will come to learn that I'm really not that sort of a person to take jabs at someone. I just was venting. And even though I could have said it better and I could have managed it better, that's genuinely how I feel, but I could have worded things better. That's all I got. That's all I got. I said I was going to be bold. I did my part.
Well, sis, let me tell you, that was excellent. I love the suggestion of, let's meet over lunch, where, we can sit face to face and kind of talk things over. And of course, folks love to be able to break bread and have conversations over meals and a drink. And so that would be something that I will offer in my communication, as Ryan suggested, as far as waiting tomorrow and having a talk and furthering my apology. But thank you to everyone who volunteered and gave me advice. I am definitely taking it. And I appreciate it. Oh, I wanted to share what I actually said. Oh, this is, guys, I hope, well, whatever. Okay, so this is what I said. I said, my apologies if I took things personally, and that I was overwhelmed and I just wasn't paying attention to what I was doing as I was communicating. But that is no excuse. And I apologize if I offended you in any way. We do have a good working relationship, and I hope it continues despite this hiccup of mine. And I finished the text off with, there was some work things that I had to send, and I promised that I would get that out by the end of the night. I said, thanks. And so the person responded back to me and said, no problem, no worries, consider it forgotten. We're both busy, understand how it works. And she wished me a good night. And that was that. So that was it. Thank you all for your thoughts and advice. So thank you. So I'm gonna give it back to our Toastmaster for the evening, Miss Roberta Lowe. Roberta, I don't see you.
I am here. I don't know what's going on with my camera though.
Yeah, I'm trying to add you on. Okay. All right, I'm gone. All right.
All right. Here it is. All right. All right. Great advice tonight. Now we will move into, we'll start with our general evaluator, excuse me, who will be Ryan.
Hey guys, first and foremost, I want to apologize for my tardiness. It was about 2 minutes late to the meeting. Dealing with some work stuff myself. But I felt that in the beginning of the meeting, it was a bit, I probably contributed, so I don't want anybody to take this personal, but I thought it was a bit confusing, just because we didn't know if some people, or if we had the agenda in the right places. But I think that Rob and Natasha stepped in well to cover their teammate and offer solutions very quickly, so that the confusion wouldn't last no longer than a minute or so. So I thought that was great. But what can you expect from great leadership? I thought that everyone did well explaining their roles, and I think that it flowed well. After that, I thought that everyone did well with the meet. Um, I thought that everybody kept within their time correctly, even though that's probably not my job. I'm not the timer, but I thought that everybody did well. I thought that both speeches were well thought of and well written out and well performed. And I thought that even in the disaster that our friend Crystal feels at the moment, she still came on and still performed, and figured out a way to be great in spite of what she was dealing with. So I thought that we did great as a group overall.
All right, thank you. Now we'll go to our odd counter.
We have to get the evaluator reports.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Evaluations.
Oh, the evaluations. I'm sorry. Yes. Our first evaluator for Robert and Tasha.
I didn't evaluate Robert.
Nope. I believe Trivia evaluated me.
All right.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so in lieu of all counter and grammarian and evaluation, I'm going to put them all together. Robert, your speech was amazing. I love the fact that you didn't have as many ums and ahs, but you did have a few. And one of the things that I actually wrote down was that you had a great pause. So you didn't run a lot of words together. You actually gave us what we needed to know about just being the 5 points to being a first year teacher. For me, I was able to take away a lot of things. For one, the time management piece. If we manage our time well, then it wouldn't seem as overwhelming when the days aren't what we expect, like an 8 to 2 day, which really is an 8 to 8 day. Also, I believe that you hit on a lot of points that were necessary. So you definitely engaged your audience. And that's my report.
Thank you, Trivia.
Thank you. Now, second evaluator.
Yes, that is me. I am she. Good evening, Toastmasters, featured Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. This evening, I had the pleasure to evaluate Tyrone Thorpe. Okay, went ahead and so let me tell you, I have been trying to stop myself from saying that you popped your pathways cherry in the chat, because I was like, that's probably not. But yay, you did it. All right, and you got one more, because when we were talking, I know you have two pathways. I mean, two paths. So you're gonna be you have another one. But thank you so much for introducing you to yourself. Like, there is a manifold to you, like a peeling of an onion. So I know that you have enough to come back for round two. But let's talk about one. The way you started off your speech, it was very poetic. Like, I loved how, like, after each sentence you were saying, and you would not know me at all. And yet you wouldn't know me at all. And I was just like, I like this. Where's it going? And that was kind of like the hook. It reeled us in. And then you started into your speech. So I love the way that you started the speech. What you don't get me on my chew. What you excelled at, what didn't you excel at? So I picked two: audience awareness and comfort level. You knew that you had a lot of meat that you were bringing us with. So before you even tapped into the audience, you let us know in advance. Listen, I'm getting ready to come with it. Y'all better get your ears open. You know, when you get enough, okay. If you didn't get everything, check back to the YouTube. You know, you can check it out there. So you already knew what to keep us aware of. So that was great. Comfort level, I felt like you were just having a conversation. It didn't seem like there was any nerves. I know you were talking about being introverted, but also when you have a topic that of interest, which is yourself, that you know so well, it's easy to have a conversation about that. What a stretch goal, I would say, is maybe some vocal variety. Like when you said East Side Certified, I was ready for, and hand gestures. When you said East Side Certified, I was ready for you to throw it up the East Side, you know, and say a little something, bring it out. You know, I'm like, where the East Side at? Where's that? So like voice variation.
Wow.
And hand gestures. Okay, that would have like really popped in that in that moment, you know, I'm stretching it here, okay? Because you're an amazing speaker. We already know, but we're here to grow, right? So
Right.
challenge, props, you at your house. You at your house, bring the props, show us about you, you know, show us something that will engage and emphasize what you were saying. So they can just be like, oh yes, because that's one thing about Zoom. We get to do it here. Like we if we were at Morgan State, we had to have a whole suitcase to bring props and stuff like that. But we're here, so we get to curate our setting so that people can really be into our speech. But you gave an engaging speech in general. So these are just ways to put some icing on the cake. Thank you for you all's time.
Good metaphor. I like that.
And I love your ending. Okay. I love it. You know, sometimes when we end a speech, it's kind of like, all right, what I'm saying. But, you know, you thanked us for listening and just ended. And so that was really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great feedback. Now we'll go to our calendar and our timer.
All right. I'm turning on my camera. Okay, so I am Trivia. I am the odd counter again, and I just want to just let you all know how you did on your ums and ahs and a few grammatical challenges. I already gave Robert his, which was across the board. He spoke a couple times, and that got him quite a few times. Tyrone, I tried to find something for you. The only thing that I could really find for you was you used got a lot as a crutch word, and you could have used words like became or something like that in place of some of your gots. Natasha, you had a few and souls. Crystal, you also had a few and souls and ahs. And Natasha, one other thing, it's not a grammatical thing, but you, when you were doing your table topics, you did a lot of teeth sucking, like whatever, however you did that, but that was kind of cool. But in a different kind of conversation, it probably wouldn't be good. Ryan, I couldn't find anything for you. And Elise, you had one and you ended with that's all I got. And I think that it could have been a different way. Olio, I didn't have anything for you. And Roberta, you had quite a few ums. And that's my counter report.
No, it's not.
Thank you, and thank you. All right, everybody, I'm your timer for today. Great evening. And I'll start off with Robert. Your time was 7 minutes, 30 seconds on the dot. Made it, sir. Tyrone, your time was 6 minutes and 26 seconds. Both of you were in great timing for your speeches. All right, now for the table topics. Natasha, your time was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Robert, your time was 1 minute and 26 seconds. Mr. Ryan Dunstan, I did have a bit of an error, but I kept my time rolling. I came back. I think it was 1 minute and 50 seconds. Annalise, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Outside of that, for the evaluations, trivia, we had 30 seconds. And Natasha, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. That will be your timer report for today. Thank you. Passing it back to you, Ms. Roberta.
Thank you so much. And we have a general evaluation. Ryan, I believe you gave that already. So we're just going to move on to the treasure moment. Mr. Olia.
Well, since I'm here, might as well make it nice and clear. I am your treasurer. And what that means is, if you're a guest and you're wondering, hey, you know what? I wonder how much does it cost to be a part of this great organization, to improve my speaking, to be more impactful. Like, I bet it costs a lot of money, right? That's what a lot of people are thinking. And here's the thing. For guests, if you just want to come, hang out, relax with us, do some table topics, it's free 99. It's completely free. Tell all your friends. Tell your friends to tell a friend. It's completely free. Come in for the good vibes, learn some tips, share, get your feet wet with the table topics. However, when you want to step to the next level, when you want to get critiqued, when you want to say, listen, I want to get a credit, I want to get this, I want to get certification, because you get certification. All right. Now, the Toastmasters is known worldwide, global. You see that globe right there? Right there. All right. So this is a worldwide thing where people know about this, to get on a big stage, to refine your speaking, to be more impactful, to be more dramatic, to get to the point where now when you say different things, people can hear the words and it elevates. That's why you want to become a member, ladies and gentlemen. And to become a member, all right, well, here's the fee. It's literally $50. And that's for 6 months, not $50 a month. $50 covers 6 months, okay? And on top of that, $5 of the dollars go towards our club dues so that we can operate. Bring you snacks, bring you drinks, beverages, and different functions like that, right? And here's the thing, for the brand new members, there's a one-time $20 new benefit fee. That will be $70. After you pay that, you don't pay it again. And the renewal fee is the $50. All right. Now you can Cash App $MSU TM. All right. We also have a PayPal, MSU Toastmasters Club at gmail.com. All right. I will text this in the chat. You can contact myself or shoot us an email, and we can make sure that you become a member, so that way you can start your progress through the pathways and learn a lot of different things to help you exactly the way in which is tailored towards how you want to be helped. It is prorated and it's tax deductible. So we look forward to seeing you join the Toastmasters family. Thank you. I'm turning it back over to you, Ms. Roberta Love.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now I turn it over to the president. Or are we doing roles?
Yep, you can turn back to me. So, hey, y'all. My name is Robert Tyre once again. Roberta, amazing job. If y'all can give her a thumb snap, a clap. That was her first time, I believe, as a Toastmaster. And listen, the only way to become a Toastmaster is to be a Toastmaster. No, great job, great job. I want to move to the educational corner with my VP of Education, Ms. Natasha Brown. Natasha, if you dare, come to the mic.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Sorry, y'all. I am here. I kind of wasn't here because remember I had to not be here. It's okay. But Tyrone made me think about something with the end of his speech. I was like trying to like multitask and how to end a speech. I think that's a good thing to tap into that we can like practice. But I have a few suggestions. One is just a simple thank you for your time. Oh my God. What? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Come on now. Of course, please. Thank you for coming. You did such an amazing job. I'm sorry, I'm responding to Roberta in the chat. My prayers are with you and your family. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to have a pause, this moment of silence real quick. All right, so we can acknowledge some people, depending on what your speech is about. You can acknowledge the guests that you were speaking to, thank them for your time, acknowledge anybody who may have been a source for your speech. You can say that at the end as well. Also, you can end in a story. I know sometimes we begin with a story to like reel you in as a hook, but if you've given us a lot of information in the beginning of your speech, then maybe you can give us a story that will help us to apply the points that you gave to us in our lives. And last but not least, an interesting quote. It's awesome to start with a quote, and if you start with a quote, that's a wonderful way to end with an interesting quote. So hopefully that helps us, because I know even me sometimes, I can be like, oh my gosh, what am I getting ready to say to end? Pardon my pause. I felt like it was necessary to just take that moment before transitioning right back in. So I'll send it back to you, President.
All right, y'all. Gotcha. Thank you, Natasha, for that. Just want to ask to see if anybody had, or ask them pause. If you are a new member or a returning member to MSU Toastmaster, just want to ask you a few questions. If you don't mind, come off the mic. We want to know, how'd you hear about the club? Did you enjoy yourself? And will you be returning again? I think we have a couple individuals. So I'm gonna put myself on mute. Don't be shy.
All right, Stanley, you can go ahead and come off the mic, mute.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey, Stanley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I heard about the group. I actually don't remember. I called Morgan State University. I called the university asking, is there any organizations or clubs in which someone can join to develop their professional speaking skills? And from there, I was referred to Toastmasters. I made a few calls, sent a few emails, watched YouTube videos, and then I reached out to Crystal, and she provided me with the link, and she told me it was going to be tonight. So here I am.
I didn't realize I wasn't muted. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Elise?
All righty. So you said basically you want us to give an understanding as to how we came in contact with Toastmasters, and then I believe you said something else, but
Yep. How'd you hear about MSU Toastmasters? Did you enjoy the meeting, and will you be attending again?
oh yeah, sure. So I could do that, sure. Okay, so I have been, well, first of all, I live right down the street from Morgan State University. And I, as I stated earlier, have been stalking Toastmasters without success online, trying to figure out how to be able to participate in one of the meetings. So I am ecstatic that I'm here and able to participate tonight. So absolutely, I did enjoy myself. I actually heard about Toastmasters from a mentoring program that I'm in called Women to Women, that's based in Frederick, Maryland. And I have committed to being a public speaker. However, I did not know it was going to go this fast because I have already done a paid speaking engagement at Towson University I had like literally had to prepare for it within like 4 days. I had no clue it was going to happen that fast. But I am very excited to be here. I can't wait to be able to send in my payment for my fees. I don't know if y'all take money orders, but I'll go ahead and I'll get it done for sure.
Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead, Robert.
I love participating, so you guys will get a lot of participation out of me. I look forward to getting my mistakes out of the way as quick as possible. As my daughter would say, I don't mind embarrassing myself to get to perfection. So, I don't know who else here is new, but I'm sure there is.
Did you want to come off of mute? Nina, you can go.
Sorry, I was trying to hit the button and it wasn't going. I apologize about that. Hi guys, I'm Nina. That is something right there that I need to work on. But I have been wanting to connect with a group that would help me with public speaking for quite some time. It was very difficult with finding a place. And then I believe it was someone on social media. It was on Instagram that they had made a post about public speaking and those who struggle with it. And I made mention about myself still wanting to find a place, and they suggested Toastmasters. I had did a Google search, came across the website. It's not easy to navigate, but I was able to finally nail down and pick a chapter, which was this one. I'm an East Side girl as well. There's a few others that's East Side in here, so it was very comfortable for me to choose this chapter. Even I reside in Harford County, but I still would much rather be a part of this chapter. I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. I do look forward to coming back. I will become a member because I am often put in a position to have to speak publicly. And as soon as it comes for me to do it, I freeze up. And I desperately need to work through that. I know that is something that is going to hinder my growth in business, and I'm just ready for it to be a thing of the past. So I'm here. I appreciate all of you for just being here and putting this together, and I look forward to seeing what can be. Thank you.
So if you guys can do me a favor, all three of you guys, Stanley, Lisa, and also Nina, drop your emails in the chat so we can take those. And I know that Natasha and also Trivia will reach out to you. The one that I can say about our team, just in general, we started off just where you guys were at, right? Just wanting to learn more, wanting to engage and become better public speakers. And through this program, Toastmasters and Pathways in the community, definitely allowed us to become better professionals, learn how to network. And I know I know everyone personally. These individuals have had multiple speaking engagements, are continuing to speak every single day. And I can attest that Toastmasters had a little small part to get over that first initial butterflies and fears. So this is an amazing space to develop your skill set. We definitely give it to you with love, but we also try to make sure that we have constructive criticism to make sure that you are growing in the areas that you need. And I believe the mentorship and the connection, the community. We do outside events. We do virtual events, but I think everything, it has a purpose. Man, I'm just thankful for everyone just being here. So we are going to shift. We're not going to take roles this meeting. Crystal, you can actually